are you going to be next year, next month, next week, in the next hour? And I'm not talking, are you in Florida, are you in Georgia, or New York, or whatever. I'm talking about your whole body. I'm talking about mentally, physically. Where are you going to be strength-wise? Where are you going to be balance-wise? It's a big question, and it's a good question. If you do this every day, you will be in a better place. Hi, I'm Jan. This is 316 Yoga. This is your practice. We focus on strength and balancing today. And don't we all want to be stronger? Don't we all want to be more balanced mentally, physically, emotionally? Yes, we do. As the bottom of our screen says, do what is right for your body. This is a 1 hour long practice. It's a vinyasa flow practice where we move more quickly through the poses. We do practices every day, and all of our practices are different. So check us out. Now you may think, oh, this is a hard practice. Well, maybe it is a little bit, but you modify it to make it work for you. You use props. You do what feels good in your body. Remember, do what's right for your body, not mine, not anybody else's. There's nobody else around you. You're not in a gym. You're doing it from the privacy of your own home. Do what is right in your body, always. Okay, so there's a word to think about today as you practice, and that word is this. It is settle. Settle. Settle means to sink to the bottom, as in sediment. And you don't want to sink to the bottom. You want to rise up. You want to be strong. You want to be happy. You want to be more fit in your body. And I think this practice will help you do that. And again, don't think just body, physical body. Think of your mind. Think of how you feel. Think of your spirit. All right, so one of the ways we do this, as we settle into our practice, there's that word, settle. As we settle in, let's lock in a stress number in our mind. On a scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you as we come on up to standing? Have your usual props with you, your towel, your strap, your eye shade, your 2 yoga blocks, and your water. And come on up to standing. And as you come on up, that stress number, scale of 1 to 5, 1 to 10, where are you? What's going on in your body? Lock that number in. And let's do our little warm-up, the usual little warm-up. Let's take our confidence stance. Maybe you have a chair nearby. Maybe you sit in a chair. It's fine. Just do what you can, right? All right, so we're in our confidence stance. Your feet are a little wider than hip-width distance apart. Take a big breath in through your nose. And a big shoulder-softening breath out through your mouth. Put your hands on your hips. Send your elbows back. Lift your chest up. Kind of feel like Superman. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out. Start to pop up onto the balls of your feet. Find your balance. Rock a little bit. Maybe come back onto the heel. Lift your toes up. All right, a real obvious saying here. If nothing changes, nothing changes, right? You've got to do little things to work towards your goal. Little teeny steps. Maybe your yoga is that step to get you where you want to be, where you want to be more mobile, stronger, more flexible, just feeling better about this one and only body of yours. All right, so maybe you're rising up onto the balls of your feet and coming back onto your heels. Just find your balance. Maybe a chair or a countertop nearby would help with that. Use it. Use the tools. Use the resources that are available to you, but just move. Breathe. Let's finish up. Let's settle into our feet. Maybe rock a little bit from side to side. Lift your arms up high to the sky. Take a pose called Tadasana. Fingers are lifted to the sky. Shoulders are softened. Pinkies are slightly spiraled in. Lengthen up here. Root into your foundation. Let's do palm tree. Interlace your fingers. Send your palms up to the sky. Start to sway from side to side. So wake up your spine. Oh, feel that good stretch. Chin away from your chest. Little movements or big movements. You move exactly how feels good for you. Breathe in and sigh it out. Let it go. Stretch. Reach. Come back to the midline of your body. Place your hands at your low back. Push your chest forward. Push your hips forward. Lift your chest to the sky. Elbows toward your spine. Look up. Breathe, little back bend. Exhale, take it in the opposite direction. Forward fold. Forward fold, gaze down toward your knees, toward your ankles, whatever works. Crown of the head toward the earth. Little bend in the knees, try that. Inhale, spine lengthens. Exhale, squeeze the air out of your belly. Out of your mouth, let it go. Inhale, arms sweep up, back to that Tadasana, extended mountain, lengthen. Let's do arm circles. Circle your arms to the back of the room. Maybe little circles, maybe big circles, and add in your knees at the same time. Bend in the knees and come on up. Arms go down, knees go down, arms go up, knees come up. Just wake up your knees. It doesn't have to be a big bend. Do what feels good. So important. Take your arm circles in the other direction. Keep breathing. Just warm up. And as you're ready, how do your shoulders feel? Let's come on up to a standing position. Big coat swing. Root firmly into your feet. Maybe close your eyes. Start to twist from side to side. Look over one shoulder, then the other. Breathe. And let it go. Let it go. Let go of doubt. Let go of frustration. Let go of all the silliness in this world. Just feel what you feel and enjoy this hour of peace on your mat. All right, finish up with the big coat swing. Let's do ragdoll pose. Hinge forward, bend at the waist, chest towards your thighs. Bend your elbows, hands toward opposite elbow creases. Toe heel your feet hip width distance apart. Gaze down to your knees or even higher up towards your belly button. And then sway your elbows from one side to the other. Loosen up your low back and breathe. When you're ready, slow it on down. Come back to the midline of your body. Let's go into a child's pose. Hands come down to your mat, knees bend. Come on down. You can use a block or not. Here, it's up to you. These blocks, you decide how you want to use them. Maybe classic child's pose. Knees together, big toes touch, hips go back towards your heels. Oh, let that feel good. Maybe a block to rest your forehead on. Arms down by your sides, palms face up. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. If you don't like the block, remove it and place your forehead on your mat. The other option is a wide-legged child's pose. All you're going to do is spread your knees wide, but your toes are still going to be together. Arms reach to the top of your mat. Sink your head down to your block or to your mat. Take a big breath in. This is the part where we get into or out of our head. You're just going to think about your practice for a second. Tailbone to the back of the room. If you're in extended child's pose, press into your hands a little bit more. Big breaths in through your nose. Big sign breaths out through your mouth. Give yourself the peace of this hour. Don't worry about what's to come. Don't think about the past. All that matters is this moment. How do your hips feel in this moment? How do your knees and your ankles feel in this moment? Reach your fingers a little bit longer to the top of the mat if you're in extended child's pose. Can you do that? Do you like that? Take a deep breath in. Another big sign breath out. As you sigh it out, send your tailbone more to the back of your mat. In your child's pose, come back here anytime you want. You do it your way. You could even be seated in a chair right now and you're folding your chest down towards your thighs. Maybe your hands are reaching towards your calves or your ankles. Breathe in and close your lips and breathe out through your nose. Build heat in your body. Listen to the sound of your breath. Listen to your body and do what is kind to your body. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let's go in to a sun salutation A. Bring your hands so they're underneath your shoulders. Bring your knees so they're underneath your hips. Tuck your toes towards your shins. Press your hips on high up to the sky. Now, downward facing dog. We're going to do this often. Tailbone is lifted high to the sky. Feet are hip width distance apart and your heels are lifted just a little bit off the ground, maybe 3 or 4 inches. Hands are shoulder width distance apart. Fingers spread wide. Press into your hands. Feel your tailbone go higher to the sky. Start to pedal your heels closer to the earth. Now your neck. Don't forget about that. Shake it, loosen it up as your gaze goes back towards your knees or maybe even up towards your belly button. This is your downward facing dog. We'll come back to it often. Still your dog. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands to meet your feet. Roll your spine up one vertebra at a time, up to a standing position. Bring your hands to prayer center. Take a Samastitihi pose. What this pose is it's hands at prayer center, thumbs pressed in, lengthen up through the crown of your head and set your little personal intention. Make it a positive, affirmative statement about you as you are being kind to yourself this month. You're being kinder to yourself this month. Maybe it is I am strong. How's that? Take a deep breath in. And a deep shoulder softening breath out. Your sun salutation. Let's do it. Blink your eyes open, arms lift high. Extended mountain. Feel the length through even your hip flexors. Feel the stretch through your fingers as you reach even higher, but at the same time, soften your shoulders. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out as you bring your hands to prayer center and fold forward, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Hands to your shins or wherever feels right to create a flat back. Now your shoulders, don't let them roll in, roll them back towards your spine. Lengthen through the crown of your head and your tailbone. That's your tabletop. Exhale, fold forward, plant your hands on your mat. Let's do our first Chaturanga Dandasana. Now you're going to come into a high plank pose. Hinge forward. Now you can take it down to your knees if you like. No pressure, no stress. Do what feels right for you. I'm going to take a high plank and do a classic Chaturanga Dandasana. It's comprised of 4 steps. Press the earth away. Bend the elbows as you exhale and come down to a low plank. Hover here, flip your feet so the tops of your feet are on your mat and then straighten your arms. That's an upward facing dog pose. Maybe you're still down on your knees. Take it the way that works best for you. Upward facing dog, now downward facing dog. We did it a second ago, remember it? Tuck your toes under, your hips high, downward facing dog. Push the earth away, get comfortable here. Pedal your heels, tailbone high to the sky. Neck nice and loose, shake it out. No tension there. Breathe. Let's do it again. Still your heels. Walk your feet up to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, sweep your arms up to the side of the room, lengthen up in your Tadasana pose. Exhale, hands through prayer center, fold in half. Inhale, halfway lift, hands into your shins, back is flat. Exhale, hands come down to your mat. You could be pressed up against a wall and doing this against a wall as well. You do what works for you. Remember, you can be on your knees. I'm going to go high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. I'm on the tops of my feet here. Exhale, down dog. Hips go high. Push into your mat. Breathe. Walk your feet to meet your hands or your hands back to meet your feet. Inhale, arms go up, extended. Exhale, hands through prayer center, fold forward in half. Inhale, halfway lift, flat back. Exhale, plant your hands as you walk them forward. High plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Little pedal here, feels great. Let it go all the way up into your hips. Move your hips, wiggle it. Still your feet. Feet meet hands, hands meet feet. Inhale, arms sweep up, extended mountain. Let's go into our Sun B pose. Lengthen through your fingers, now bend your knees. Reach through your fingers. Exhale, bend your knees even more. Sink the weight back into your heels. Chair pose. The weight is so much in your heels, maybe you can lift your toes up and give them a wiggle. Reach through your fingers. Sink nice and low. Ooh, strong quads. Lengthen, and let's do Sun B. Hands to prayer center now. Straighten your legs. Fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift. That's familiar. No change there. Exhale. Plant your hands, Chaturanga Dandasana, no change there. Now, high plank to low plank, push the earth away, upward facing dog. You can take it on your knees, don't forget. Tuck your feet, down dog. Now here's where it gets a little different. Pedal it out for just a second, let all the stress go. Inhale, right leg kicks high. And if you're seated in a chair, you can do this too. Sweep the right leg forward, bringing the right foot in between your 2 front hands. Rise on up to standing. Plant your back foot and your front foot. And let the right toes point forward, and the back foot is at a 90 or 45-degree angle. Now put a bend in your knees. Right knee over your right ankle. Left leg is good and straight. Hips are kind of equidistant to the front of your room. Settle in here in your low body. Squeeze and activate your inner thighs so you can act as if you're pulling the mat together. Arms tee out, shoulders are over your hips. Maybe wiggle your toes of your right foot a little more forward as you sink into your warrior pose. A little bit more. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, look to the right and reach to the right. Reach, and then tick-tock your arms 6 and 12. Right arm comes onto the right thigh, left arm goes up to the sky. Maybe both arms are straight as the fingers reach in opposite directions. Inhale, reverse warrior. Come on up to standing. Send the right arm high now, and the left arm down your back, left leg. Reach, breathe, cartwheel your arms, surround your right front foot. Chaturanga Dandasana, again. Right leg goes back to meet the left. High plank, low plank. Upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out and breathe. We're going to do the same thing with the other leg on the other side. So lift your left leg up. Exhale, sweep it through. Low lunge. Rise on up. Plant your feet solidly. Tee out your arms. Sink on down. Left toes wiggle forward. Thigh is a little more parallel to the earth. Squeeze the mat together. Lengthen up. Exhale, look left and reach left. Tick-tock 6 and 12. Reach up through your right fingers. Maybe arms are straight. Maybe bottom arm is bent. Whatever works, works. When you're ready, reverse warrior. Right arm down, left arm up. Breathe. Exhale, cartwheel the arms. Chaturanga Dandasana. Left foot back to meet the right. High plank to low plank. Inhale, you're pushing the earth away, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Whew, breathe. We're gonna do it all again. Walk your feet to meet your hands, or your hands back to meet your feet. Sweep the arms up, extended mountain. Bend your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Reach through the fingers, sink into the hips. Breathe. Hands to prayer center, straighten the knees, fold forward. Inhale, halfway lift, lengthen. Exhale, plant your hands on your mat. Chaturanga Dandasana, your way. High plank, maybe it's on your knees, to a low plank. Press the earth away, upward facing dog. Tuck your feet, downward facing dog. I guess the opposite of tuck your feet. Put your feet back in a natural position. In your down dog, pedal it out. Still your heels. Right leg kicks high. Exhale, sweep it through to your low lunge. Foot in between the two front hands. Rise on up, plant your feet solid and firm. Bend into your right knee, tee out your arms, lengthen up through the crown of your head and engage. Tighten the thighs, lengthen up, tighten the belly. Look to the right, exhale, reach to the right. Arms tick-tock like a clock, 6 and 12. Look up. Inhale, reverse warrior. Right arm high, left arm low, look up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms. Chaturanga Dandasana, your way. Remember, maybe you take it on your knees. High plank to low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, down dog. So many ways to take it. Do what feels doable and comfortable. Just don't hurt yourself. If it hurts, back out of a pose. Don't do it. Do what feels right. Still your legs. When you're ready, left leg kicks high. Exhale, sweep it through to a low lunge. Inhale, rise up, plant your feet, bend into the front knee, nice and parallel in your left thigh. Arms tee out, lengthen up, look over your left fingers, then reach to the left. Tick-tock, 6 and 12. Push your inner left thigh open. Reach through your fingers. Reverse warrior, right arm down, left arm up, lengthen. Look up, exhale, cartwheel your arms, Chaturanga Dandasana, high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. One more time for good measure. Pedal your feet. Walk your feet to your hands or your hands to your feet. Inhale, arms sweep up. Extended mountain. Find length and strength. Breathe. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Take a deep breath in, Samastitihi. Inhale, arms sweep up, extended mountain. Bend into your knees, chair pose, Utkatasana. Reach through your fingers, bend into your knees. Reach through your fingers, bend a little bit more. One more big reach. Exhale, hands to prayer center, fold forward in half. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, plant your hands, walk them forward. Your variation of a Chaturanga Dandasana. High plank, maybe. Exhale into your low plank. Inhale, rise on up through straightened arms, up dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Inhale, right leg kicks high. Exhale, sweep it through to your low lunge. Foot in between the hands, rise up. Feet plant, arms tee out. Sink into the right knee. Lengthen up, squeeze the mat together. Look to the right, reach to the right. Tick-tock 6 and 12, look up. Inhale, reverse warrior, right arm high, left arm low. Exhale, arms cartwheel. Right foot goes back to meet the left. High plank, low plank. Press the earth away, up dog. Exhale, down dog. Left leg kicks high. Exhale, sweep it through to your low lunge. In your low lunge, feet are planted. Rise up, tee out your arms. Sink low, look left. Exhale, reach left. Tick-tock 6 and 12 and look up. Inhale, right arm down, left arm up. Breathe, look up. Exhale, cartwheel your arms. Left foot goes back to meet the right. High plank, low plank. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Pedal it out and breathe. Breathe in, breathe out. This is your break. Enjoy it. Bend your knees, still your feet. Bend your knees, hover them above your mat in a bear plank. Hold it here. Come on down to your mat. Grab a drink. How are you doing? All right, we did 3 sets of each. A sun A and a sun B. You're rocking it. Everything is warmed up now. Have a drink. All right, so let's do some core things. Our usual little core things. You can use a strap if you like for any of these, or for your boat pose more specifically. If you don't want to use it, you don't have to. I'm not going to use it today. Check us out other days of the week where we do use our strap in other ways. So you can just kind of learn and adapt the props to the way you want to be. All right, soles of the feet together to touch. Knees open wide, hands at prayer center. Come back to your mantra. Mine was, I am strong. Lengthen up, lean on back. Take it all the way down, nice and slowly. Hike the heels up closer to your groin, if that feels good. If not, don't. Knees open wide. When you're ready, bend your elbows and send your fingertips lightly to your temples. Let your elbows come down to the earth. Stay open here. Breathe in and out of your mouth during these next 3 little poses. If you want to let some of that heat go that you built up in your sun salutations. As you take an exhale, peel your chin up to the sky. Feel your belly tighten and then come on down. Exhale up, inhale down. Little lifts, little lowers, finding the strength in your core, finding the strength in your low belly, finding the strength in your mind to try, to do, to succeed. Maybe you do it once or twice. Maybe you're doing it a double time what I'm doing. It's all good. You know what you need and what works for you. I'm going to finish up here, bringing the elbows down, reclining, taking a breath, then bringing the knees together to touch at the midline of the body. I'm going to keep my feet planted, and there's lots of ways to take bicycle pose. I'm going to exhale my shoulders up. I'm going to work my left elbow toward my right knee, then my right elbow toward my left knee. Just little twists here, just finding what works for me. Another option would be to bring the shoulders down, lift the knees up, knees over hips. You can keep your fingers at your temples and your heels. Drive through your heels and ride a bicycle here like you're on one of those recumbent bicycles. Maybe you put it all together, peel your shoulders up, elbow toward opposite knee as you pedal through. Another variation is to straighten your legs and give them a scissor kick. Nice and straight, one leg works towards the ground, the other works up toward the sky. What do you like? Just do what you like. Do what works. Shake it up though. Try something new. Don't settle for the same thing every time. All right, let's finish. Bring your arms down, bring your legs down, stretch it out in a stick pose. Fingers and toes reach to opposite ends of your room. Stretch it out here, find length. Breathe. Big breath in, big breath out. Let's do boat pose next. I'm going to bend my knees. I'm going to use just my hands. You could use your strap under the center of your feet if you like. We'll do that another day so you can learn how to do that. Hands behind your knees, rock and roll up a few times. Rock and roll, have some fun with it. And you know, I always say, if you have osteoporosis, osteopenia, you shouldn't rock on your spine unless your doctor says otherwise. Listen to her or him. Rock on up, get comfortable here, then lean on back as if you're in a recliner. Shoulders are back, chest is lifted, lean on back. Oh yeah, feel that in your core, lean back. Maybe take the weight out of one foot or the other or both. Maybe you straighten your legs and then remove your hands. All of these are layers. Take the layer that speaks to you today. Maybe you reach a little higher and hold. Chest stays lifted. Breathe. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Row your boat. Dip one elbow then the other. Maybe a little bend in your knees feels comfortable here. Try it. See what you like and do what you like. Row, row, row your boat. Maybe the feet come down. Come on back up, come out of the pose, shoulders over hips, bend your knees, and hug your knees in. Maybe heels more towards your bottom. Maybe you can wrap your forearms around your shins, lengthen up through your spine, hollow out your belly, exhale, settle in. Bring your weight onto perhaps your toes, or nothing at all, lift the toes up. Maybe start to look towards your knees, then maybe tuck your chin towards your chest, and roll into a little yogi ball. Finish here. Bring your feet on down. Find your 2 yoga blocks and let's do crow. All right, slight inversion and a confidence builder for sure. All right, 2 yoga blocks, or you can do it with no blocks at all. The blocks I'm a little more comfortable with personally. Maybe you take it to the next layer and don't use the blocks. Come to stand on your back block. Have your blocks at a stable height. Bend your knees, open your knees wide to the sides of your mat. Arms are down on your mat. Lean forward a little bit into them. If you're on your fingers, you need to find the base. You need to find a strong foundation here in your hands. Bring your palms on down to your mat. The top block is about chest distance away, and you're going to aim to put your forehead or the crown of your head on that block. Arms solidly planted, that's the important next step here. Knees behind your triceps, the back of your upper arm. Hinge your weight more forward. Squeeze your elbows into your arms. Push your weight into your hands. Maybe bring your head to your block. Then maybe lift your back feet up and hold. Breathe. If you fall out, no big deal, get back in. Hold. You got it. So the block at my head has essentially brought the ground up to me. Hold it here. When you're ready, whenever you're ready, come on out of it. Bring your feet on down. And hey, you did crow. Awesome work. All right, let's do some lunges now. Let's press our hands into the mat. Come back to your knees, and let's do a plank pose. Maybe you take it on your knees. Maybe you take it to a high plank. Press the earth away. Exhale. Low plank. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Pedal it out. Remember that. When you're ready, kick your right leg high. Exhale, sweep it forward in between your 2 front hands. We've been here before. Rise on up to standing, but keep your chest pointing toward the top of your mat. All 10 toes are pointing in that direction too. Bend into your knees, especially that back one. Bring it a little bit closer to the earth. or all the way down. That's fine too. So now you're in a lunge. Lift your arms high up to the sky. Take a baby back bend if you like. Exhale, hands to prayer center. No problem coming down to that back knee. You can deepen this twist if you like. Inhale, lengthen up. Exhale, hinge a little forward. Left elbow to the outside of your right knee. Hands are stacked. Bring the top of your left foot onto your mat. Look to the right to your hands. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist. Look to your elbow or look higher still. When you're ready, hands back to prayer center. Plant your hands in between your right foot. Wiggle, wiggle, wiggle your right toes to the top corner of the room. Find a block if you like for your runner's lunge. Left leg is long and straight on your mat. You can slip a towel under your left knee if you like. Right leg, try to see how far you can reasonably go. Open up the right knee to the side of the room. Press your hands into a block or hands into the mat. Or, there's always or, right? Bring your forearms down to the block. Lengthen up and soften up as you exhale. Maybe your forearms come down to the mat. Breathe in your runner's lunge. Now press into your hands, straighten your arms. Send your right foot back to meet your left. And let's do a side plank. Left arm is going to be your foundation. Shoulder over wrist. You can stay on your bottom left knee if you want. Or send your legs straight. Ankles glued together. Shoulder over wrist. Right arm lifts. Right hip on top of left, lift out of your waist. Hold here, look up to your right fingers. That's your side plank. Now come back to your downward facing dog. If you'd like, pedal it out. Shake your neck. Always good to shake your neck. Or squeeze in your Chaturanga Dandasana. That would be high plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, press the earth away. Come onto the tops of your feet, upward facing dog. Flip your back feet, down dog. Breathe, pedal. Left leg kicks high. Sweep it through to your low lunge. Come on up to standing. All 10 toes point forward. Back heel is lifted. Arms lift, or maybe your hand is on a chair, or your hips. Get into your knees. Take your time. Get into your knees. Place a big bend in your knees. Take it slowly. Maybe the knee comes all the way down to the ground, or maybe you hover it a few inches above the earth. Arms lift, baby back bend if you like. Exhale, hands to prayer center. Inhale, lengthen up through your spine. Exhale, right elbow outside of the left knee. Hands stack, elbows stack. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, twist to the left. Look at your hands, your elbow. Look over your shoulder, take your time. Inhale, lengthen, exhale, twist. When you're ready, hands back to prayer center. Drop to that bottom knee if you're not already there. Find your block if you want to use it. Wiggle your left toes to the upper left corner of your mat and straighten through your right leg. Now you're on the top of your right foot. Press into your block. Maybe open up your left foot so the pinky toe is the edge on the earth. Maybe drop to your forearms. Maybe drop to a half block, or maybe drop all the way down in your runner's lunge. Breathe in, breathe out. Exhale. Push into straightened arms. Left foot goes back to meet the right. We'll do a side plank here using your right arm as your foundation. Shoulder over wrist. Maybe you stay down on that bottom knee. Let the left leg extend. Let the left arm go high. Look up to the sky. And if you're on your knee, try to lift that left leg. Breathe. Let's finish up. Come back to a downward facing dog. Pedal it out and breathe. Shake your neck. Still your feet. Walk your feet to meet your hands, or your hands to meet your feet. Whatever works. Roll your spine up one vertebra at a time, keeping your chin tucked to your chest. As you come on up to standing, tee out your arms, Pasarita Padahastasana. Spread your legs nice and wide. Reach through your fingertips to the side of the room. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, hinge forward. When you get to that flat back position, take your hands and reach for your calves. Hug your elbows in towards your knees. Hold on to your calves and pull. Get deeper into this pose. Crown of your head toward the earth. Look back between your legs toward the back of your room. Inhale, lengthen. Exhale, release and fold forward even more. Tee out your arms. Inhale, rise on back up to a standing position. Horse pose. Hands to prayer center. Bring your heels in a little bit to what feels right. Sink into your knees. Working your thighs a little more parallel to the earth. Pinky toes are going toward the back of your mat. Knees are open wide, like you're riding a big horse. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, settle in, sink a little bit lower. Now rise on up onto the ball of one foot and then the other. So one heel comes down, the other foot goes up, just back and forth. Focus forward. Now come on up to the balls of both feet. Maybe you can sink a little bit lower, hold right here. Draw your shoulders back a little bit more and hold. Breathe in. Soften up, breathe out. You've got it. Hold it. Bring your heels down, 5-pointed star. So like a big capital letter X, like when we do Pasarita Padahastasana, when we do 5-pointed star, wiggle your hips, breathe. We sometimes do this lying down on the mat. Wiggle your hips, and when you're ready, hands to prayer center. Bring one foot to meet the other. Let's do some balancing. All right, in your balancing today, we're gonna do our 3 familiar poses: tree, dancer, and eagle. All right, for your tree pose, let's root into one foot. Take the other foot, bend it, open up that knee to the side of the room. You can be on the ball of the foot. Put the heel inside the opposite ankle, so you can have a little foundation. Maybe hold on to a chair. Maybe slip the foot up a wee bit higher and press the foot into the calf and the calf into the foot. Maybe lift the leg higher still, skipping over the knee. Always skip over the knee. Press the foot into the inner thigh, thigh into the foot. Let the outside of the knee work to the back of the room. Hands to prayer center or on a chair. Great place to stay, great place to be. Your focus is on your foundation, your feet, your foot. Lengthen up, look to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Grow your branches if you like and move them this way and that. The other day we did some cross body movements. Good for your brain. Breathe. Maybe try to close your eyes or take a long blink. Bring your hands back to prayer center. Guide the knee to the front of the room. Plant that foot next to the other on the mat. Lengthen up and exhale. Same pose, other side. Vrikasana, tree. Root into the opposite foot. Open up the other knee. Nothing wrong with staying on the ball of your foot or holding onto a chair. It's gradual. The changes are gradual. Little steps get you where you want to be, where you need to be. Place your foot wherever you want it to be today. And if you fall out, no big deal, get right back in. Press the foot into the leg, leg into the foot. Drive the bent knee more to the back of the room. Hips are equidistant to the front of your room. Hands can be hips, prayer center, or growing branches. You do. You do you. You do you. You take care of you. You listen to your body and you give it what it needs, the movement that it needs. Maybe today it needs a little more of a challenge. Maybe today you need to try to blink a little bit longer and see how that goes for you. Maybe not. Hands to prayer center, guide the knee to the front of the room, plant the foot next to the leg. Lengthen up here, back to Samastitihi. Repeat your mantra. I am strong. I am strong. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let's do dancer pose. All right. For your dancer pose, let's bend into our knees. Take a big breath in and a big breath out. Let it be. Just hold it here for a second. We're going to do eagle first. All right, sink into your knees. When you're ready, let your arms reach toward the front of your room. Maybe you don't like that. Hands can be on your thighs, prayer center, or to opposite shoulders. Lengthen and sit a little bit lower. I'm going to cross my right arm under my left and bring my palms to touch and squeeze my elbows down. Look over your fingertips. I'm going to root into my left leg. We did this a minute ago when we did tree. Rooting into one leg, lift the weight out of the other leg. You could be seated in a chair doing this. You can do just the arms or just the legs. I'm going to cross my right leg over my left. I'm going to bring my right foot behind my left calf and I'm going to sink low. I'm going to hold it right here in eagle pose. Gaze is forward, nice tight squeeze. Let it be. Foot comes down, arms sweep up, lengthen up. Exhale, repeat on the other side. Start by bending your knees. Your hands, what do you want to do with them? Opposite shoulders, prayer center, maybe on your hips. You decide. I'm going to sweep my left arm under my right. Maybe you stay in a big hug. That's a good choice too. Palms touch, elbows squeeze down, gaze over the fingers. Right foot is now my foundation. I'm going to lift my left leg up, cross the leg over, take the top of the left foot and hug it behind the right calf. Sink low, look forward, and squeeze. Squeeze in the upper inner thighs. Squeeze the legs together. Squeeze the arms, squeeze the shoulders. Breathe. Exhale, left foot comes down, arms go high, lengthen up. Lengthen up, breathe in your Tadasana pose. Take a little baby back bend. Inhale, arms go back up high. Now let's do dancer. Take your right arm, start to sweep it around to the back of the room. Sweep it around, nice big circle. Feel what you feel in your shoulders, but don't forget to lengthen up through your left fingers. When you're ready, bend the right knee. Reach down and capture the inside of your right ankle. All 5 fingers are there. Bring your knees back together to touch. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Exhale, kick into your back hand while the left arm reaches forward and you kind of counterbalance. The arm reaching in one direction, the foot kicking in the other. Hold onto that foot. Breathe. Gaze over your left thumb or your left fingertips. Finish. Right foot meets left. Both arms sweep up. Keep the momentum going. Sweep the left arm back, back, back. Right arm, right fingers are reaching high to the sky. Sweep the arm around. Maybe this is where you stay today. Maybe a little bit of weight just comes out of that left foot. Maybe you just bend the knee today. That's fine. Maybe you bring the left foot up. Capture the inside of the left foot with all 5 fingers. Lengthen up, knees together. Exhale, kick into your back hand. Reach forward. Reach forward, kick back, then kick up, and find your balance here. Breathe. Finish. Left foot meets right on your mat. Come back to your prayer center hands. Lengthen up. And exhale, soften up. Maybe repeat your mantra. When you're ready, hinge forward at the waist. Inhale, halfway lift, back is flat. Exhale, plant your hands and walk them forward. Come into a high plank. Let's do Chaturanga Dandasana. High plank. Exhale, low plank. Inhale, up dog on the tops of your feet. Exhale, down dog. Your hips are high. Half pigeon pose. Ekapada Rajakapatasana. Kick your right leg high. Exhale, bend the right knee. Bring the right knee behind your right wrist. Left leg goes super long on your mat. Use a block. Slip it under your right glutes. Maybe work your right shin more parallel to the top of your mat. Press into your hands, left leg is long. Breathe here. Little different variation today if you want to take it. You can always slip down to your forearms and rest your head on your hands. The variation I'm going to take today, I'm going to push up into my fingertips. I'm going to hold it right here. I'm going to lift one arm up as if to say hello, then the other arm up. Maybe lift both arms up like you're going to pat the wall in front of you. Squeeze your elbows back, squeeze your shoulders down, hold it. Hands come down, and let's remove the block, and let's do it on the other side. Tuck your back left toes, send your right toes back to meet the left, shake out the right leg in a 3-legged down dog. Come back to a natural down dog. Left leg kicks high, sweep it through, bringing the left knee behind the left wrist. Right leg goes super duper long. Left shin, perhaps a little more parallel to the top of your mat. The block goes under your left glutes. You can come down if you can get there, if you want to, onto your hands, or press on up to your fingertips. One hand lifts, then perhaps the other hand lifts. Shoulders squeeze back, elbows go down, hold, breathe. Hands come back down. Remove your block. Let's do a 3-legged down dog. Tuck your right toes. Send your left leg high. Shake it out. Come back to a downward facing dog. Lift your hips high to the sky, tailbone up there. Press into your hands. Neck is loose. Hinge the weight forward, high plank. Don't worry, we're coming down to our bellies. As you exhale, bend your elbows, lower all the way down to your stomach. Once on your stomach, keep your hands where they are, which perhaps is underneath your shoulders. Work your legs long. Press the tops of your feet into your mat as your big toes touch. So cobra pose, Bhujangasana. Your body kind of looks like a cobra with the big fan in your arms. Take a big breath in. And a big breath out, let it go. When you're ready, keep your legs together. Lift on up out of your chin, your shoulders lift. Feel the compression in your low back. Maybe pop on up to your fingertips again, or no weight in your hands at all. Maybe lift a little higher, breathe, and then finish. Come down, hands come down by your sides. Turn your head so your left cheek or your left ear is on the mat. Take a breath. Ooh, we're getting there. We're almost done. Bring your chin back to the center. Floor bow, Dhanurasana. Bend your knees. Reach your arms back towards your feet. Maybe find the outsides of your ankles. Wiggle your knees back to the midline. When you're ready, all you gotta do here is kick hard into your hands. Kick hard into your hands. Let your thighs come up off your mat. Balance on your pelvis. Gaze down your nose. Lift. Floor bow. Finish. Legs come down. Arms go down. Turn your head in the other direction. Turn your head to the left so you're resting on your right cheek or your right ear. Breathe in. Breathe out. Let it go. Camel pose is next. Ustrasana. Bring your chin back to the center of your mat. Bend your elbows, hands underneath your collarbones. Press on up. Take a little seal pose. Soften in your glutes. Breathe. Make your way up to standing on your knees. As you're standing on your knees, bring your block behind your heels. All right, so blocks behind your heels, in between your ankles. Squeeze it. Keep it at its high height. Your shoulders are over your hips. Your hands, put them at your low back like they're going into pockets of jeans. Squeeze your elbows toward your spine. Push your belly forward. Look up to where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe you decide to take it higher and look directly overhead. Maybe you decide you can take it higher by leaning back, lifting your chest to the sky and looking to the back of your room where the ceiling and the wall meet. Maybe you reach for the block, or maybe you reach your hands for your heels. Look back and then put your hands back on your low back and make your way up. Shoulders over your hips. Remove your block. Nice job. And have a seat on your heels. Even this pose has a name. It's your Thunderbolt pose. I'm going to grab a drink and we're going to do bridge next. All right. So remove your blocks. Bring your eye shade and your towel if you have them. Eye shade's a real blessing. Go ahead and have one of those. Make one of those. Bring it up towards your shoulders. Let's come to a seated position. Let's bend our knees, soles of your feet on your mat, hands to prayer center, mantra time. Lengthen up and then come on back. Recline slowly because you are in control. You're in control of everything. Come on back. Once you're reclined, bridge pose. Arms down by your sides. Soles of your feet are on your mat. Knees are bent. Just push into your feet and let your hips come up. Push your feet, push the weight into your feet even more. Now wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Lift, push harder into your feet. Arms down by your sides, and maybe you decide to take your hands and interlace your fingers behind your low back and push your pinkies into the mat. Lift high, hold it here, push harder into your mat. There's your bridge pose. Now here's a slow takedown. Remove your hands and have your arms by your sides. Think of each individual vertebra of your spine. Start to lower them down. Best way to keep control of that is to keep your belly button tucked to your spine. And then roll. Think of one, like a pearl necklace. Think of bringing one pearl, one vertebra down at a time. Keep your belly button tucked. Your spine is longer than you think. Keep those vertebrae coming down, even those little tiny ones at the bottom. And then once you get all the way down, release your tailbone to the earth by letting your belly button come away from your spine. Just feels really good, and you, again, are in control. All right, legs go long, arms go up toward the sky, parallel to each other. Lengthen up. Think of someone pulling you up. Roll on up to a seated position. Shoulders over your hips. Reach your parallel arms to the front of the room. Reach even farther. Can you take them even farther? Can you draw your toes more up to the sky? Maybe a little bend in your knees is what you need. And if that's what you need, you take it. Reach. Maybe have your hands, find your ankles, your calves, elbows hugged in, gaze to your knees. Inhale, lengthen, take this restorative forward fold. Inhale, come on up, shoulders over your hips. Find your 2 blocks, send your legs nice and wide. Bring your blocks in between your legs and come forward. Blocks can be at any height you like. Maybe rest your head on them. Maybe stay here for a while. You decide what feels super good for the insides of your thighs. I'm going to come on out because this is a fairly quick practice. We'll do that. Pose longer other days of the week, especially in a restorative practice. Bring your legs together at the midline. If you haven't brought your eye shade up to your shoulders, do it now. Lengthen up through the crown of your head. Let your arms rise on up. And the way we came up, let's go on down. All right, come all the way down. Let your heels kind of drag up towards you. Come all the way down. Reach through your arms way overhead. Point your toes down. Breathe. Stretch it out. Stick pose. Bend your left toes towards your shin, but keep your left leg good and straight. Supine twist. Bend your right knee. Bring it on up. Bring your arms down to meet your knee. Interlace your fingers beneath the knee. Circle your ankle this way and that. Hug the knee in. You can hug it in more. You're strong. Let the left arm guide the right knee across the midline of your body. Roll onto your left hip. Right arm tees out. If you're not familiar with restorative yoga, I'll tell you about it. You hold the poses longer, and your body eventually succumbs to the goodness, and it just releases, and it's a wonderful feeling. Try it. Check it out. It is by no means easy or, quote, just lying around. All right, bring your hip down, bring your knee up to the sky, gaze 2, hug the knee in one more time, send the right leg long. Right toes drawn toward the shin, feel the length in your right hip. Left leg bends. Bend the left knee, hug the knee in with your interlaced fingers. Circle your ankle this way and that. Right hand guides the left knee across the midline of the body. Roll onto your right hip. Hand encourages the knee down, but doesn't force it. Look to the left. Keep your left shoulder down. Nice big twist. Left hip comes down, knee goes back up. Hug it in one more time. Send the left leg long to meet the right. Baby, Ananda Balasana. Drag your heels up. Your core is strong. Drag your heels up. Send your left knee toward your left armpit. Left hand hugs it in. Right knee toward right armpit. Right hand hugs the knee in. Rock a little bit from side to side. Let it feel great. Take it in layers. Maybe reach for the inner calf. Maybe reach for the ankles. Maybe reach for the heels. Draw your toes towards your shin. Hold tight onto your heels. Send one leg up to the sky. Rebend it. Send the left leg up to the sky and rebend it. One leg straightens. One leg bends. Breathe. Maybe send both heels up to the sky. Remember that wide-legged forward fold we did, holding onto your heels. Maybe send your legs wide again, stretching out the inner thighs. Bring your knees back to the midline of your body. Bend your knees. Soles of your feet come down. Then your legs go long because we are ready to do final Shavasana. Don't run out. Wonderful pose to let the mind do what the mind does. It thinks about what you did for the last hour. Cover your eyes with your eye shade or your towel. Let the body just naturally absorb the goodness that you just did in the last hour. Palms face up. Wiggle your shoulders closer to your spine. Just nestle in to your mat and find peace. Where is peace? It is in your breath. It is inside. Let your pinky toes fall to the edges of your mat. Breathe deeply. Whatever feels good for you. I like to take a big breath in through my nose and a few big sighs out through the mouth, and then come back to closed lip breathing. Unclench your jaws if your teeth are touching. Soften the area between your eyebrows. Shoulders are relaxed into the mat and away from your ears. Deep breaths in breaths out. Try not to think any thoughts. Try to just sense your breath. Don't even sense your body. Let your body just let it go. And just your breath. Take a deep breath in, really deep, and a deep, slow breath out. Maybe this time let it go out your lips, nice and slowly. And just realize the power you have within, the strength that you have within and out. Strengthen the power of your breath. Use it to calm your body, to calm your mind, to bring strength to your entire being. All right, here's the deal. If you want to push pause on your remote, go ahead and do that and enjoy your final Shavasana pose for longer. Magic happens when you stay in this pose. Check it out sometime. If it is time for you to conclude your practice and wrap things up, start to wiggle your fingers and toes. Let it feel good. Move it up into your wrists and your ankles. Inhale, reach high up overhead and stretch it out, kind of like that stick pose. You know, when you point your toes to the bottom of the room, reach your fingers to the top. Even feel this in your hips. Feel it in your entire being. Breathe in. Soften it up as you breathe out. Exhale, bend your knees and your elbows and come onto one side or the other. Enjoy the getting there. Enjoy the rolling onto that hip and that shoulder. Use your low arms. Bicep as a pillow for your head. Eyes closed, top shoulder soft. This is the breath. Savor it. Deep breath in. And deep breath out. Don't take any breath for granted. As you're ready, if you'd like, you can keep your eyes closed or open them up. You can roll on up without using your hands. Maybe that's a little challenge today. Or use your hands. That's all right. You know where you need to challenge yourself and where you need to take care of yourself and be kind. All right, sit however is comfortable for you. Bring your hands to prayer center in gratitude. Maybe it's an opportunity to repeat that little mantra you had. I am strong. Press your thumbs slightly into your chest. Lengthen up a little bit more in your spine and soften up a little bit more in your shoulders. Take a deep breath in and a deep breath out. Let it go. All right, blink your eyes open. She just knows when we're done. All right, how did you do? It was an hour long, little different sequence, but yet very familiar. Stick with your yoga. Just do it, because you'll feel better. How is your stress number now? You took one in the beginning. What was that number, and what is it now? It does bring the stress down, and you do feel better, and you do find just more peace in your body. So live today for its fullest, right? Keep it fresh, keep it new, do something different, and don't settle. Don't settle. The way it is isn't the way it has to be. Change. Change is hard, I know, but just change. And your yoga is a good place to start because it gets you thinking about things that maybe you're not normally thinking about. All right, we always wish these things for you, the fruit of the Spirit. Love, joy, peace, patience, kindness, goodness, faithfulness, gentleness, and self-control. Also important. Live those things and have a great day. See you on your mats tomorrow. Bye, guys. Thanks for being here. You did another yoga practice and your body is feeling better for it. Feel what you feel in your body. Enjoy and appreciate what you got. And just show up every day and things will get better. You will feel better and life is good. It really is. All right. Our yoga is free for anybody and everybody.